Welcome students. Something more about objects. Now this is page number 38. Objects encapsulate state and behavior. So what do you mean by the word encapsulate? It is just like a capsule which contains all the contents. So it is the condition of being enclosed or interwoven. And there are three essential features which are encapsulated for all the objects. That is, they have their properties, or attributes, or other word we can say is characteristics, and behavior and their unique name. So identity of an object is defined through its unique name. Like you will say the name of the object, just listening to the name of the object, you come to know everything about its property and the methods. Then an object state is defined by the properties or attributes. And already you have learned this feature about objects. We have done few examples on it. And attributes, some attributes are static. That means they remain unchanged always. For example, the length, width, height of a car object will remain the same always. So such attributes or features which do not change, they are known as static. But some attributes are dynamic. That means their values change depending upon the behavior. For example, if we take the example of car only, then if it is speeding, the behavior at that time is it is speeding. If you put a brake or you halt, the behavior is that it has halt. So this feature of the car is dynamic. And then mark this, the state of the object. You have to mark all the notes. Through attributes themselves, though attributes themselves are usually static, the value of an attribute can have is usually dynamic. Now, if it is clear from here, then we move ahead. That objects encapsulate state and behavior. Any object, like let's say here is the one identity, dog. Attributes are height, weight, and currently what the dog is doing. Now see, height, weight, values are given. All the dogs are of the same category, so they have the same thing. But currently doing, this is the same dog. Currently doing, thinking, now playing, now sleeping. So that means this dog identity is the name, that is Leo. This is a dynamic. Height and weight are same. That means they are static. Okay. So dog, Leo name, we can say this is static. Only dynamic values here will be currently doing thinking, currently doing playing, currently doing sleeping. These value changes. So one difference between static and dynamic is static, the value remains the same. Dynamic, the value keeps on changing. Then on the next, we have message passing between objects. Now here that objects can communicate with each other by passing messages. Now see the example. Teacher gives test paper to the student to solve it. This is another example of message passing, right? So we pass some message to the other object. Only this much for this you have to learn here. Then come here, implementing classes and objects in programming terms. Now if we talk about programming terms, a class represents an abstraction. Now this abstraction is one of the feature of OOP. And that abstraction is relative to perspective of the viewer. How is that viewer looking at the object? That is the abstraction. Now let's refer here. There are multiple abstractions of the same entity. Entity means object. If viewers are looking at it in a different perspective. Now, example they have taken here is abstraction is always about the external view of the entity. It is not going into the details that what is inside that object. Now, there is one airplane and there are three types of users here. One is the traveler, one is the pilot, and one is the engineer. And if we see the abstraction for all these, and you'll see here, see, this is the airplane. This is how an airplane engineer views at the airplane. Now this is the abstraction for the engineer. And this is how the pilot will look at the airplane. That is, he is there on the sitting to fly this plane. And this is how a traveler is going to look into the airplane, seeing the sitting arrangement. So all the three have different perspective. Now, if we talk here, abstraction for airplane engineer. Now, body structure, wings, and what are these features are all for the airplane engineer. And these are the features for air traveler, and these are the features for pilot. So three different abstractions for three different viewers. Then classes as abstraction. To implement an abstraction, you need to define a class. So you can underline this line, that to implement an abstraction, underline here, you need to define a class. And in this example, we need to create three different classes to represent each abstraction. Three different classes to represent. Okay, one will be for the engineer, one will be for the pilot, and one will be for the traveler. Then classes as user-defined type. To represent an abstraction as class in programming term, a user-defined is created. That means who creates this class is the user. So where once a class is defined, you can make multiple objects out of that class. Now while creating a class, the attributes are through the data items. You can again mark these certain points here, that the attributes in the software world, they are through the data items which hold the values, and the behavior is represented through methods and functions. And they all are encapsulated in a single unit which is known as the class. Now see this example. One entity abstraction, it has two things, attributes and behavior. And when we talk about in the software world, there's a class, attribute is represented by data, and the behavior is represented by methods. Okay. So objects are instances of the class. The other word for instances is object. Once a class, the user-defined type is defined, underline this, that once you create a class and then multiple instances based on this class specifications can be created. Okay, so just take a look at a cookie cutter. Once it is designed, that's a class, but you can make as many, this is one, shapes out of it. See, shape is the name of the class. Now we have different shapes. We have triangle, we have square, and we have circle. These are the real entity. Now there is another example given here. The name of the class is student. And you have these attributes, that what is the name, class, section, and the marks. And this is the behavior, whether appears in exam or plays sport. Now these are objects created. So when you create the first object, student 1, you will get these three attributes. So you give them the value, Rubina 9th B 79.5. Appears in the exam, this is the behavior, and plays sport. Create another object, will have the three attributes. Tohina 9th A 68.9, appears in the exams and plays sport. Likewise, you can create another 10 objects which will have all the three features and these behavior. So data and associated functions are wrapped into one object that is known as student 2, or it is known as student 1. And then this is what we are going to do here. In software terms, mark this, that data members are there, attributes are shown by data members, and behavior is shown by methods. Only mark here, and you have to do this. Let us revise all the points you read properly, because questions can be framed out of it. This ends our chapter. Go through the questions and mark them. Thank you.